Morning everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. Here we are again down here at this house, and we are getting ready to get started. Today we will be trying to finish that permanent wall that we're putting down through the center to re-support the ceiling joist. We got far enough to take the pressure off over there last time. We're going to finish running it all the way across and then remove all of these temporary walls here. And then what we will probably do after that is remove all of this flooring down across here and all of these joists and repair the rest of that sill plate along that wall and then possibly along that one. That's the one that becomes more dangerous because that one is bearing down the weight of the roof and everything. So we may have to see what we got to do about jacking up everything over there, or be doing, maybe we depends on how bad the sills are, we might be able to simply repair the sill on this side and then from the outside repair the other one. That's one way to possibly be able to do that. And then also this, where this porch is lower, I'm not sure, we might repair that sill where it is and then build up for the floor so that it's actually all level across through there. Just see how far we get, and maybe we'll go through this kitchen area. I wouldn't be surprised because of the sink and everything that over there, that sill plate probably has to be replaced. But I believe most of this down through here is okay. And it looked like most of this was fine, except for near the front door, where there had been a leak up in the ceiling that has come down and has really rotted that out real bad. And then the whole front porch is a whole nother story. So first thing we're going to do is get started on putting this wall in down through here, and then we'll go from there. All right, so now we've got that one load-bearing supporting wall coming right down through the center there. And we went ahead, and while we were doing it, because of the fact that I cut all of these studs a ½ inch long, to get it to sit down on top of the wall as we would go across, I would take out like every 3 studs at a time to drop it down onto these studs here. So at the same time as we were doing that, we went ahead and removed the temporary walls. However, we reinstalled this temporary wall right here for now. It's the one where I think in the last video for down here, I had mentioned about the fact that I'm going to have to replace these ceiling joists right here that went across the bathroom and the hallway area. So I'm going to have to extend those over. So we put this temporary wall back up until we decide for sure where we're going to have this bathroom wall come. I'm pretty sure I know where it's going, but again, I want to wait and let my wife come out here and take a look at this and see it in person to be able to get a real idea of the layout that's here, because what it looks like on paper is not what it looks like in person. Makes it difficult to be able to tell dimensions. So that wall's there. I believe it'll be out of our way to build the permanent wall, because I think it's going to go right about there, roughly, give or take a little bit along that seam. So trying to guide my hand that way with through the camera. But with doing that, then we'll remove that wall there, and we'll remove these two top plates up here. Those are just I left them up there because they're kind of helping tie those ceiling joists together for now. They're not structural, so it's not a big deal. All they would have done is supported sheetrock. The roof is bearing way over there and way over here. So those ones, all they would have done is support sheetrock, and it's not a big deal for them to be just hanging there temporarily, especially with that little 2x4. That'll just help tie it together. So now we get to start having some more fun. All right, now we got all the walls down. In this area, it's wide open, and we're getting ready to tear up all that flooring back there. It'll be a lot easier now that we got the walls out the way, because we don't even have to try and cut them. We can just rip them up all the way to the wall. We might not even have to cut it there because it's so rotted, but if we do, we will eventually anyways, but so not a big deal. And while we were tearing the walls down, we had this. My hammer just so happened to break. So what it looks like happened is right here, when they added on this little board twister portion, it apparently created a cold shot that eventually, with enough force of hitting, has caused it to break across there. But I've had this hammer probably a good, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 years at least, is my guess. So it's lasted a good bit, but it's not going to work anymore. Alright, so we've got all of these floor joists torn out, and looking at these beams and everything, and sure enough we're going to have to replace all them sill plates all the way across there, and just basically just replace the entire thing. So, but at least we got a solid floor in the middle of the house. I think the front, like I say, I think the front will be alright, but we'll see. If we have to, we have to. but they had just scabbed on to those others. You probably saw it when we were tearing it out, where they had just scabbed on. But I mean, a couple of them even, they just completely broke, even, you know, with the scabbing, because the scab doesn't work against a rotted board like that. They should have ran it all the way across. So I'm going to start ripping this sill here out and trying to get that side done. Then I'll start working on that side. So we'll just see how far we get. Alright, so that was not easy, but got it all out of there. All that rot. Like I said, we'll get the rest of this from the outside. So the real difficult part was trying to basically clean it out enough where I can slide. I want to be able to slide that 2x12 in there, so it'll help support that corner when we start tearing off this back wall here. So now, just going to clean it up. Basically, we just, you know, use a broom to get rid of some of that debris that's all sitting on top, and start putting it back together. Alright everyone, so unfortunately my battery died and I had to continue going, but you can see we've got that both of those in. I've laid it off accordingly. What I did over here is the second one. I don't know if we can see that or not. Let's see. You see that second one, it stops back this way about 1.5 inches, and that is so that whenever we do this wall here, we can slide it in behind it. But I'm going to go ahead and put the 2x4 on here for the ledger, and get back to probably replacing that sill plate along with a 1x on top of the 2x12 to bring it up to the height of the building originally. Alright everyone, so we ripped out all the rest of the rotted material on the inside, that bottom sill, that bottom plate for the wall, and that it was where the wall head came in from the bathroom. So all the other studs were fine. It was just those few, which is mainly because the bugs were invited to continue going up it because of the shower and all the water being there. So that's why they decided to actually eat out that one there as well. And we'll be replacing it. We saved a lot of the walls of the studs that we took out of the other walls that are in here. And so we'll replace it with some of the old wood. That way it'll still match. But we'll be having to replace that section. We're going to go ahead and put a 3/4 board and then a new sill plate across there, and then that should be good for that. Try to twist that with the board twister slightly. From down there. Down. Here, you got one. Yeah. Need the braking bar. This side. Gets it started. Right now we need the jacks. Stop, stop. Pressure down on this. Too much. Yep. Keep close around. Who's that? Just take it down and move. This stud, and they'll get it up enough. Nail gun. I'm gonna need nails. If you can grab me a rack real quick. Start. these two. So you measure off the back wall, roughly, you're going to be about 4 foot, and then another 16 inches right here on that. I'm going to let this loose, okay, because otherwise it's probably going to just bounce. Hit it. Lower. Well, maybe not. Hit. Try 16 inches back. No, the other way. Sorry. Forward. Hit again. Alright, now go back to that first spot. One more. Alright. Alright, so that is how you take care of that. So now that wall is completely solid and good and actually back up where it should be. So definitely needs to be done very carefully. If you're nervous about it at all, I would say just don't do it. Hire someone else to do it who knows really well what they're doing, because even if they know what they're doing, this is extremely dangerous. So you got to do it just right. Make sure you're watching different factors involved, or you can easily push the wall over and then the roof down on top of your head. Alright everyone, so I think that's where we're going to leave it at today. We did get a lot done for today. We just ripped out a whole bunch of flooring, floor joists, walls, temporary wall, finished building the wall down through the center, and replaced this sill down here, which was a little difficult to do, but we got that done. And basically had to make a whole new plan on it with the way it's doing it. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to leave these floor joists out until after I replace the sill on the back wall, possibly on the kitchen wall if need be, but I do know we got to replace some of those floor joists for sure. I'd already known about that, and since I'm doing it this way, I'm probably going to simply take that sill across the back wall all the way across, rip off, cut the wall from the porch, the old porch, and raise that sill all the way across there so that it's completely even all the way across. It'll just make it so much easier on us in the end, since we're already going this far. It'll actually be save money versus costing money to replace those joists and do it that way. Another thing that I have decided to make a change on is right here. They have originally, when they built this house, they put a drop pier. So what that is you'll see it's set up just like this one here, where the drop beam is that went across the center of the house. So they already had one also set up right here, which is about midway of this area that we're doing. So what I'm going to do, instead of sitting here and trying to double 2x8s, double this, double that, plus the fact that the other piers, which that didn't get caught on camera, but one of those other piers, which was right here, let me turn the camera down just a little bit more. It was right here. It was knocked over. I mean, you saw how bad it was leaning. and apparently, not surprised. The reason it was leaning that bad, there was actually no footer underneath it at all. So what I'm going to do instead of worrying about doing all that is I'm going to simply put some columns underneath the floor and set a whole new drop beam down the middle of this area here. It'll just shore everything up. It's not supposed to be needed, but it will help make it so there won't be any bounce in the floors. It'll just help support everything, make it easier for us to also choose to put the bathroom in any kind of layout that we choose. Because if we do that, we would have to double up where those are, but with that drop pier under the middle of those, we won't need to. It'll be able to hold that support. So a little bit of change on plans, just since it's going this far, why not take it the rest of the way? But that's next time out here. It's probably what I'm going to do is just work on that back wall sill, and then I will probably, quite possibly, replace the drop beam that is underneath the wall right here as well. The one that's in the middle. Just that one right there. That goes right there. Probably just going to replace it. It has a big sag in the middle from where they knocked out that pier to run the plumbing through. And it has sagged so bad that I think if I try to jack it up, because that sag has been reinforced into it, it's grown into the lumber, then I'm going to end up correcting the middle, and the ends are going to be way too high. So, plus on top of that, when we take out this little chimney right here, this little bitty one that simply went straight up, when we take that out, it'll let us be able to run that drop beam all the way across instead of it being split up by the chimney. So, and it'll just make this area just so much bigger. My wife was actually wanting to try to put 3 bedrooms in this house, and with the way the layout was and everything, there's just no way. But I think there is a possibility with doing that wall and going ahead and replacing all this stuff, doing it the way that I'm talking about doing, that we may be able to do some decent 3 bedrooms in here. So that they're not that one of them could be a nice good sized one with its own bathroom, a little walk-in closet. The other 2 would probably be bigger than my bedroom at my house. So they should still work pretty well. So they won't be huge bedrooms, but they'll be big enough for, like kids, So with that being said, I think that's where I'm going to leave this video at. I'm just it's the end of a long week. It's a Saturday and it's raining outside. I'm ready to go home. So hope y'all enjoyed watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notifications, and we'll see you the next time.